Think about the last time you did an off-site meeting with your team. Now, you didn't bring in an outside facilitator, but you ran the meeting yourself. How effective were you at engaging the participants in the discussion and the topic that you were considering? In this video, I'd like to talk about the 3 mistakes leaders make that cause them to not get engagement from people in those types of off-site meetings. The first mistake they make is they bring their people in cold. In other words, they don't prep them beforehand with some idea of what the topic is going to be and what their expectations are for the people in terms of their participation. So to overcome that, what I'd encourage you to do is to talk to key people in the organization who are going to be participating in the offsite. Let them know what your expectations are for engagement and make sure that they're prepped beforehand so that they can be the folks in the meeting participating and getting the vibe of engagement going. The second mistake that people make is death by PowerPoint, and this is extremely common. I've made thousands of presentations over the years, and slowly what I've learned to do is to reduce the amount of text in my PowerPoint and really emphasize images. You're going to kill people with a lousy PowerPoint presentation, even if it has really good content in terms of what it's communicating. So reduce the amount of text, increase the number of images, and radically edit the number of slides. This will really help to increase engagement. And then the third reason why engagement suffers, the third mistake, is a lack of audience participation. So you as the leader, you come in, you have all this content that you want to share, all these ideas that you want to communicate. And really what happens is that you're no Tony Robbins, I'm not either. And it's really tough to hold people's attention for a long period of time. So let me give you a simple template that you can use, a simple rhythm that you can get into when you're making presentations. And it starts like this. Begin with the individuals. Ask a really good question and have the individuals in the meeting consider it for themselves. Then go from the individual level to a small group level, no more than 4 or 5 people, where they discuss the content that you want them to be thinking about. And then after that small group interaction, have a leader from each of the small groups report back to the group on the discussion that they had around the question that you posed. So you go individual, small group, and then the entire meeting. And you get that rhythm of communication and interaction going. And what I would recommend is that you go through this individual, small group, entire room rhythm once every 30 minutes in a presentation. So if you're going to have a 90-minute session, make sure you do it 3 times. This will keep people incredibly engaged. And you might be saying, well, Eric, I'm not sure if I can communicate everything that I want to if they're going to be doing all of the talking. And that's a mistake. Your job as a leader is to think through the content that you want to communicate and pull out some really good questions that can provoke thinking amongst the people who are participating in the meeting and allow them to really engage through those questions and their discussions. And that will really help them to lock in the learning that you want them to lay hold of. And so, if you want to overcome a lack of engagement, don't bring people in cold, prep them beforehand. Number 2, don't kill them with your PowerPoints, more images, less text. And number 3, full participation on an individual, small group, and then whole room basis. And this is the final tip that I'd like to give. In those offsites, you have all this information that you want to communicate, and you want people to go away with a bunch of applications or information. I encourage you, focus in, encouraging every person in the meeting to go away with one thing, just one thing. Hopefully, if you're doing those offsites, you're communicating the same thing over and over again. You may get bored communicating it, but your people, they don't get tired of hearing it because they need to hear it over and over again to lock it in. And really, when you're thinking about things like improving our ability to work together as a team, all you want them to do is to go away with one thing. One thing that they can do to be more effective in a team environment, to be a more effective teammate. Don't overwhelm them with a bunch of application. So, getting people engaged in meetings is 100% vital if you're not going to waste your time and your money. So make sure you take some of the tips that I'm giving you here in this video and apply them the next time you lead an offsite. My name is Eric Anderton. Hope you found this video helpful. Appreciate you watching.